Go ahead and talk about fancy Nancy Pelosi and what she said on Sunday. The House Speaker, Nancy Pelosi, was on the State of the Union show on CNN on Sunday, and she revealed a little secret to the people who are watching. She said they are almost about 90% complete with the revised reconciliation bill. Now, we were not even expecting to hear that, but it comes as the Democrats failed to meet their deadline that passed on this past Friday. So, what does this mean? It means that we have the details about the stimulus bill, or some of them, and they could have a deal by the end of this week. Yay, it's a birthday stimulus deal. Just kidding, guys, just kidding. One of my corny jokes. But hey, if you're interested in any of these topics today, I would appreciate it if you could just go ahead and hit the like button for us. It really helps out this video. And if you haven't already, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. It's totally free. Now, let's go ahead and jump right into the video. California is known to have wildfires every year that destroy massive areas of land and sometimes even homes. But now they are dealing with a different problem. They are having to watch for what's called a bomb cyclone. Check this article out. California faces flash flood watches amid bomb cyclone and atmospheric river. A bomb cyclone and an atmospheric river brought more than half a foot of rain when they slammed California's Bay Area on Sunday. The region also received warnings of high winds, flash floods, and heavy snow in the Sierra Nevadas, according to a New York Times report. Experts also warn that some areas burned by recent wildfires could be subject to mudslides, according to the National Weather Service for San Francisco. At least 66,000 people in the Bay Area were without power on Sunday, and over 3,000 people were working on restoration efforts. Now, this is very shocking, as we typically don't hear about rain issues in California. Actually, they are known for having a drought of rain every single year. So I'm sure they are pretty excited about getting this little potential rain that has come on Sunday. But anyways, I just thought that news was pretty cool. So we're going to keep them in our prayers in the meantime, especially with those wildfires that they have every single year. Moving on, the country of Canada. It's opening its doors now to non-essential foreign travel. Canada drops travel advisory. Yep, Canada has successfully lifted its warning against non-essential foreign travel. The new guidance, which reverses an advisory from the start of COVID-19 pandemic in March of 2020, signals the success of Canada's COVID-19 vaccination campaign. The beginnings of the transition away from more blanket approach really recognizes vaccines are very effective at preventing severe outcome, according to the Chief Public Health Officer, Teresa Tam, which she said in a press conference. Now, Tam added that data indicated the decline in disease activity nationally and in most jurisdictions. The officials in Ontario, the country's most populated province, also announced that they would aim to lift all COVID-19 restrictions, including requiring masking and proof of vaccinations, by March of 2022. Provincial officials noted that they would also begin removing capacity limits in the vast majority of public spaces on Monday. Now, this also comes a week later after the U.S. lifted its restrictions for fully vaccinated international travelers starting on November the 8th. So this is some good news that is spreading from country to country, seeing that maybe we can get this thing behind us once and for all. I am tired of all of this COVID-19 stuff, guys. I'm sure you guys feel the same way as I do. Now about stimulus news. House Speaker Nancy Pelosi was on CNN during the State of the Union show with Jake Tapper, and she revealed that the Democrats are just about done with the revised reconciliation bill, or the social spending bill. Pelosi told Tapper that they are about 90% completed and could have a deal by the end of this week. Pelosi says that Congress is close to a deal on Biden's social spending plan. Now, the House Speaker, Nancy Pelosi, said on Sunday that Democrats are close to finalizing an agreement on the social safety net plan that would allow for the bipartisan infrastructure bill to move forward. We have 90% of the bill agreed to and written. We just have some of the last decisions to be made. Now, when asked if Democrats will have a deal by the time President Joe Biden leaves for Europe at the end of this week, Pelosi seemed confident. She said, "I think we're pretty much there right now. It's just the language in the bill." But top Democrats have held a slew of talks in recent days to try and get centrists and progressives to sign off on the sprawling plan to invest in child care, paid leave, education, health care, as well as climate policy. The party has to resolve disputes like what to include in the package as well as how to pay for it. But it does finalize an outline going forward. Now, Democrats have already had to cut its price tag from $3.5 trillion down to $2 trillion or less as part of an effort to appease centrists such as Senator Joe Manchin as well as Senator Christine Sinema. It is less than what was projected to begin with, but it is still bigger than anything we've done in terms of addressing the needs of the American working families, according to Nancy Pelosi, in which she stated, "Nonetheless, the point is to reach a goal." Now, I also want to go ahead and show you some of the video with Nancy Pelosi because it's interesting to hear what she has to say.
Let me ask you, because one of the questions right now is paid family leave. You said that you hope that that's going to be in there, 4 weeks of paid family leave, and the expansion of Medicare to include dental, vision, and hearing coverage. Is that going to be in the bill?
Well, that's part of the negotiation. Dental is very expensive. So hearing and visual and dental, but dental will take a little longer to implement. But that's part of the negotiation right now.
So you don't know what's going to be in the final bill.
Well,
it sounds like you're saying dental might not make it because
it's
so expensive.
It'll be on a path. It'll be on a path. But what they told us, and I don't quite understand why, but we've been told by people who know about these things that it'll take 5-6 years in order to implement the dental. So how do we, shall we say, fill in the blank there? Bernie has some suggestions about how to do that. That'll be part of the negotiation.
Bernie Sanders, the independent from Vermont. Are you willing to attach raising the debt ceiling to the social safety net package, or if not, to use reconciliation, which means only 51 votes needed in the Senate anyway, in order to get this done?
That's one path, but we're still hoping to have bipartisanship. It seems that the American people should understand that what we're talking about is largely the Trump debt.
Right.
Now, we participated in some of it with COVID and the rest, but we didn't participate in giving a tax scam, 83% of the benefits to the top 1%, that added $2 trillion to the debt. President Biden's part of this debt is about 3%.
Right.
And yet the Republicans, who when the former president was in office 3 times, we had to do something about the national debt. Now, look at what is in jeopardy. Even talking about it is not a good idea because even placing in doubt whether it was, it's not a good idea because it can lower the credit rating of our country, as it did when the Republicans did not want to increase it when President Obama was president. Seems they're okay with it when there's a Republican president, but not a Democrat. 6 to 7 million jobs could be lost. $15 trillion in household wealth. Consequences that could last for decades.
Why not get rid of the debt ceiling?
Well, that's what we have a plan to do as well. There are a number of plans to do that, but would the Republicans agree to that before we again?
Okay. Well, so your mind is open in terms of whether or not you use reconciliation or whether or not you attach it to the social
Well,
safety
we
net
still
bill.
would rather have bipartisanship, whether it's a Democratic president or Republican president.
But you probably won't have it, so you'll consider these options. Is all I'm saying.
Now the question is, will Senators Joe Manchin and Christine Sinema actually support this bill? Well, it's too early to tell right now, but the Democrats need their support. They need all 50 votes in the Senate, which they already have 48 votes. votes. They just need Manchin and Sinema to come along for the ride, in which they should, because considering the Democrats have already cut almost $2 trillion off the original stimulus bill, which was valued around $3.5 trillion. So it's going to be an interesting week as the Democrats prepare to reveal exactly what's included in this smaller social spending bill. And then lastly, the governor of Florida, Ron DeSantis, continues to stay in the news. But this time, it's actually for some good news. DeSantis eyes $5,000 bonuses for unvaccinated police officers to relocate to Florida. Governor DeSantis told host Maria on Fox News on Sunday morning that Florida is actively working to recruit law enforcement officers from other states who are being fired for not getting the COVID-19 vaccination. We've actually actively been working to recruit out-of-state law enforcement because we do have the needs in our police and in our sheriff's department. So, in the next legislative session, I'm going to hopefully sign legislation that gives a $5,000 bonus to any out-of-state law enforcement that relocates to Florida. So, the NYPD, Minneapolis, Seattle, if you're not being treated well, we will treat you better here in Florida. You can fill important needs for us, and we will compensate you as a result. The governor's comments come amid his escalating conflict with the Biden administration over its impending vaccine mandate, which will require businesses with 100 or more workers to require vaccines or weekly testing. DeSantis announced last week that he is calling a special session of the state legislature in an effort to fight the vaccine requirements. So here he is right here offering $5,000 bonuses or stimulus bonuses in order for you to come to the state of Florida and accept a job with the police department or the sheriff's department. So guys, are you a police officer or you know someone that refuses to get vaccination? You may want to see if they're willing to move over to Florida.